Good evening, everyone. After weeks of debate, Mayor Dan Sullivan vetoes the Equal Rights Ordinance.
Now, that sparked a protest in downtown Anchorage today where people were saying prejudice is alive and well here in our city. Channel 2's Rebecca Palsha has more now. Rebecca?
Megan and Mike, reaction from both sides is what you would expect it to be. Now, today's decision is a pretty large victory for some religious groups, but it's a much different story for some others.
Varsity brings an economy! Varsity brings an economy!
On 6 and G Street, the protest begins.
Equal rights now! Equal rights now!
Today, a blow to Equal Rights Ordinance supporters. The mayor vetoed the law passed last week by the Anchorage Assembly in a 7-4 vote.
I'm absolutely floored that the ordinance would be vetoed.
They're pretending that it doesn't exist, and we know darn well that it does.
It's needed, it's necessary, and if you are denying that, you're just turning a blind eye on the facts.
The mayor says he hasn't seen evidence of discrimination, and the ordinance isn't needed or supported.
And quite frankly, I just didn't think there was enough evidence to support the necessity for an ordinance. And so you combine that with the overwhelming support from the community for me to veto it, it made my decision pretty clear.
It's not happening. I mean, it's just not happening.
Jim Minnery with the Alaska Family Council says Sullivan's decision was a good one and says the law would do more harm than good because it infringes on people's religious beliefs.
We didn't seem to find any homeless people that were homeless because they were gay or lesbian, or folks that were denied loans because they were gay and lesbian, or folks that were denied jobs.
Back at the protest, supporters of the ordinance say just because the mayor hasn't seen it doesn't mean discrimination does not exist.
I can tell you that I know people that have been discriminated against. I can tell you that those people testify that they have been discriminated against. And I can tell you that simply because someone thinks that there is no discrimination is no reason not to have a rule on the books that offers us just as many rights as everyone else.
But at least for now, that rule won't be added to the books. Now, you may recall Assembly Chair Debbie Osiander was one of those original no votes. Now, you might recall the night of the vote, she seemed a little bit hesitant about her decision. Well, today Channel 2 asked her if she thought about changing her mind.
That vote was not one I made lightly. I believed when I voted, and I still believe that there's a couple of really fundamental problems with the ordinance the way it was enacted. So with the ordinance certainly in the shape that it's in, I can't support it.
Now, the Assembly would need 3 weeks if it wants to override the mayor's decision. That would take an 8 to 11 votes. Megan and Mike?
Have to wait and see what happens, I guess. All right, thanks, Rebecca. Channel 2's Rebecca Palsha reporting live from City Hall tonight.